Earlier in this summer of 2014, I worked the wine club party for Barnett Family Vineyards. I tasted some of the wines, was incredibly impressed, and asked winemaker David Tate if I'd be able to follow him for a little bit during harvest. Here forthwith is my interview with David Tate of Barnett Family Winery. While David was cleaning out the bladder press before he put in this San Giacomo Chardonnay, I noticed the bin on the side of the grape bins that contained Merlot that was going through a pump over. This is the process by which juice is sprayed back over the skins, stems, and seeds inside the tank, thus picking up the colors, tannins, flavors, textures, and such from the skins, stems, and seeds that give it its characteristics. This process also prevents bacterial spoilage, so it is a very important process in the fermenting of red wine.
Where do you fall on people's level of wine knowledge, where they should be and how they should use it?
Well, I mean, again, it's them identifying their own palate. Because when you follow a critic, for example, it's a good critic to follow if you've picked a few wines out, decided you really like these wines, and that critic likes them as well. If you just follow blindly any critic, and you just buy whatever they say is the best, you're not following your own palates. The most knowledgeable kind of person that we meet are people who have their own palates and know what they like. And, even for people who are beginning in wine, they say what's the most important thing to know in wine tasting and appreciation, and just know what you like. No one can tell you what your palate prefers except you.
That is the essence of Inside Juice. And so how long have you been here?
So I've been here for a little over 7 years now. So 7 years as a GM winemaker, and I was with Ridge up in Santa Cruz Mountains.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, as their sister winemaker for 5 years.
No way, awesome.
And then really cut my teeth, but I worked in New Zealand before that, Canada before that, and then I was in France, Italy, started in Australia. So it's been 18 years of running around.
You look 18. Are you kidding me? So in sum, your overall thoughts on the harvest season so far?
2014 was interesting to start with the heat. One of the warmer years on record, and of course the drought helped push a lot of things through quicker. But what we're seeing, now it's kind of cooled off a little bit. Those who have patience and we're in the right spots of climate, so that we didn't get sugars barreling through. We're getting a lot of great flavors coming out of the grapes. We've had a spectacular year with a couple of sprinkles, nothing to be alarmed at, and thus far everything's looking really great.
Crop up or down in yield this year?
If you're going to compare it to 2013 or 2012, the crop is less than those 2 years. However, it's still above average, which is quite an anomaly if you look at the fact that 12 was high, 13 was pretty high as well, And then here we have 14 that's above average. It's pretty rare to have 3 years in a row above average. I think the last time I heard that something like that occurred was from somebody who's been around for a long time. He said that was about 40 years ago.
How different is each vintage from year to year? What's your norm?
Well, there's no norm. We're a small winery. We are producing a consistent product as far as the vineyard and kind of the style of Barnett Vineyards. However, as far as the vintages go, we do have vintage variations. So you have years like 2011, which were cooler, so a little darker, a little less immediately accessible as far as the wine goes, one that would age beautifully. And then you move into 12 and 13, which, being warmer years, they're a little more accessible in their youth. So you would be able to taste and say, yes, all 3 of these Spring Mountain Cabernets from Barnett, I see a common thread, but the vintage does play a very important part in each of them.
So this is your busiest time of year. This is your time of year. And I was talking to Gerardo up front. 1, 2, 3. And I was talking to Gerardo up front, and he said there's no part of it he likes less or more. Does that ring with you?
As far as harvest goes?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get excited and giddy when the first fruit comes in, here we go. It's harvest time, just like 100 years ago. Harvest was a very important part of the community and what was happening on the farms. But as far as harvest goes, and once you're in it, and it's just nonstop. So the beauty is, yes, you're in harvest and it's exciting and you get to see all these wonderful grapes come in that will soon be the wines and the bottles of the people that are loyal and great customers of yours. But in the same breath, then you're also working your 12, 13, 14-hour days, which is exhausting. So you get into it, you enjoy it, but it is very much taxing.
And then once it's over, you just kind of like collapse to the floor. I mean, seriously. I mean, once I was cut loose from Chateau Saint Jean, I walked outside. I just laid on the parking lot and it just soaked it all in. That I was done, and I was done. It was a bad thing too. But hey, David, I want to thank you for letting me come in here. And Barnett Family Vineyards. I tell you to come up here and get some wine, but it's probably already sold. So small winery. They sell it out right to their customers. A little bit of retail action, but not much. Fantastic view from up here. Do stuff up here. Again, David, I want to thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. We do. We have a by appointment clientele up here. We have retail that we have out here, but we're in 30 different states, so you can find us out there in the market too. And it's a pleasure to have you up here. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers. Right on.
Thanks.
That works. Little editing. God.
Awesome, man. Yeah, dude. How many of these are you?